Hello, welcome back everyone. So today हामी आज फेरि एकचोटी if conditional questions को MCQ हरु गर्न गइरहेका छौं, where we are going to see how do we match the words and all. So अब यता यसमा चाहिँ हामीलाई again यही कुरालाई माइन्डमा राख्नुपर्छ कि फर्स्टमा हामी हेर्छौं कि त्यो कुन टाइप हो, टाइप 1 हो, टाइप 2 or टाइप 3 हो, and then we put the correct answer. So let's see. I wouldn't tell her if I dash you. She can't keep a secret. I wouldn't tell her if I dash you. हामी यतिको पहिला मात्र हेरौं कि यसमा चाहिँ के हुन सक्छ. So we have the options will be, were, am, had been. She can't keep a secret. I wouldn't tell her. मतलब कि यो पहिलाको कुरा गर्दैछ, पास्टको कुराहरु गर्दैछ. सो यसमा चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने I wouldn't tell her if I will be no, किनभने यो चाहिँ फ्युचरमा छैन, यो चाहिँ पास्टमा छ. सो will be won't be. I am प्रेजेन्टमा चाहिँ हुँदैन. अनि if now we have two options, either it is were, either it's had been. So if I were you, if I had been you, she can't keep a secret. She can't keep a secret, so we will use I wouldn't tell her if I were you. So this is the correct answer. Now the next question we have is Paul would be a good artist if he dash more patience. Had, has, will have. Paul would be a good artist. Again there is would be जुन कि past form मा छ, and then we have to use if he more patience. Has हुँदैन, will have पनि हुँदैन, किनभने यतापटिको चाहिँ past मा छ, अगाडिको future मा गर्न मिलेन. Have पनि हुँदैन, so the correct answer is had. Moving on to the third question that we have, if they invited me to their party, I dash absolutely delighted. I am, if they invited me, again this is in the past form, so I am हुँदैन, will be पनि हुँदैन. अब we have to choose would be and was बाट. If I was absolutely delighted, if I would be absolutely delighted. So let's see, if they invited me to their party छ हैन, if they invited me to their party, मलाई आफ्नो पार्टीमा इन्भाइट गरेको भए म डिलाइटेड हुन्थे छ, त्यही भएर we would use would be. What you can do is कि जति पनि इङ्ग्लिसको सेन्टेन्सहरु छ त्यसलाई नेपालीमा कन्भर्ट गर अनि just check it कि which one would be कुन चाहिँ करेक्ट हुन्छ भनेर. अब moving on to the first question that we have, he dashed so many accidents if he drove more carefully. He hadn't, he wouldn't have, hasn't, won't have. यसमा के हुन्छ भने he dashed so many accidents if he drove more carefully. Drove more carefully छ, so he wouldn't have. Moving on to the next question that we have, I would help them if they dash to me. Had listened, listen, will listen, would listen. I would help them if they listened to me. Now we will move on to another question. Moving on to the next question that we have, if the weather dash warmer, we would go out. अब यसमा चाहिँ के छ भने यो चाहिँ टाइप 2 मा पर्छ. kasi if the weather dash would warmer, we would go out. If weather यस्तो भएको भए हामी बाहिर जान्थ्यौ भन्न खोजिरहेछ. So will be, had been, is त हुँदैन. So the correct answer for here is if the weather were warmer, he would go out. So the next question we have is, unless you dash, you wouldn't find out the truth. Unless you dash, will ask, won't ask, don't ask. अब यसमा चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने now you need to figure out कि यसमा कुन लाग्छ, like don't ask हुन्छ, won't ask हुन्छ कि will ask हुन्छ. So यहाँ चाहिँ हामी के question बुझौँ ल. Unless you dash, you won't find out the answer. अब तिमी जबसम्म सोध्दैनौ तिमीलाई आन्सर पाउँदैन भन्नेको मतलब कि unless you ask you won't find out the truth. Now let's move on to the next question that we have. If you dash me I will bring you the book. If you dash me यसमा चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने reminded, will remind, would remind, remind. I will bring you the book. यहाँ चाहिँ हामी फ्युचरको कुरा गरेर छ. I will bring you the book. अब यहाँ के हुन्छ if you reminded त पहिलाको कुरा भयो नि त, यो त फ्युचरको अगाडि फ्युचरको छ नि त. So if you remind me I will bring you the book. Now let's move on to the 9th question that we have. If I dash about your birthday I would have you bought a present. अब यसमा चाहिँ के छ भने इफ मलाई थाहा हुन्थ्यो कि तिम्रो बर्थडे छ भने म तिम्रो लागि प्रेजेन्ट लिएर आउँथे. सो इफ आई न्यू अबाउट योर बर्थडे, वुड नो अबाउट योर बर्थडे, नो अबाउट योर बर्थडे, ह्याड नोन अबाउट योर बर्थडे. सो हियर फर यताको लागि चाहिँ वाट डु वी युज इज ह्याड नोन. Why? Because this is type 3 अनि type 3 मा what happens is कि if मलाई थाहा भएको भए म तिम्रो लागि गिफ्ट लिएर आउँथे. This is a regret kind of questions कि लाइक मलाई थाहा थिएन त्यही भएर मैले गिफ्ट लाउन सकिनँ. त इफ मलाई थाहा भएको भए मैले गिफ्ट लिएर आउँथे. त्यही भएर we use had known. Now moving on to the last 10th question we have. If Anna dash a little taller she could become a model. So if Anna will be a little taller, no, किनभने यो त फ्युचरमा हुन्छ. तर यहाँ चाहिँ she could become a model छ, which is basically type 2 को questions. So we use if Anna were a little taller she could become a model. Moving on to the next questions. The next question now we have is if I smoked cigarette dash you, would it bother, will it bother, does it bother, it bothers. अब यहाँ चाहिँ के छ भने इफ आई स्मोक्ड अ सिगरेट, इफ मैले सिगरेटलाई स्मोक गरेँ भने तिमीलाई बदर गर्थ्यो र यो भूतकालमा सोध्दैछ. सो दिस यसमा चाहिँ विल इट बदर त हुँदैन, डज इट बदर पनि हुँदैन किनभने यो फ्युचरमा भयो, यो प्रेजेन्टमा भयो. इट बदर्स. इफ आई स्मोक्ड अ सिगरेट इट बदर्स यु. This is like present form मा नै सोधिरहेछ. तर here it is written if I smoked a cigarette. So the correct answer would be if I smoked a cigarette, would it bother you? Moving on to the next question that we have. If he dash swimming in such a rough sea, he wouldn't have drowned. So यो चाहिँ हाम्रो टाइप 3 मा फेरि पढ्यो किनभने इफ ही ड्याश स्विमिङ इन सच अ रफ सी, इफ उसले यस्तो सीमा स्विमिङ नगरेको भए ही वुडन्ट ह्याभ ड्राउन, ऊ बग्दैन थियो. तर ऊ बगिसकेको छ किनभने उसले स्विमिङ गर्यो. सो फर दिस नम्बर द करेक्ट एन्सर इज ह्याडन्ट गन. नाउ मुभिङ अन टु द नेक्स्ट क्वेसन द्याट वी ह्याभ. इफ आई ड्याश हिज नम्बर आई वुड इन्भाइट हिम टु द पार्टी. If I dash his number, I would invite him to the party. Have, had, am having, had. If see, यहाँ पनि फेरि this is also again type 3. If I dash his number, I would invite him to the party. उसले उसलाई पार्टीमा इन्भाइट गरेन. तर इफ उसँग नम्बर हुन्थ्यो भने उसले पार्टीमा इन्भाइट गर्थ्यो. So for here what we use is had. Now we will move on to another questions.